married, I wouldn't have gotten married. Now, so you might look at that as a bad thing, but no, because some people do not belong together. They're just together. And simultaneously, I also have people to call me and say, if I had read this book, I would have not gotten divorced. So the feedback that I have gotten, 99.99% of every single female loves this manual, and they're all learning from it. And I think that's one of the biggest pieces that means a lot to me when I have people text me and they speak about how this has improved their lives. So I want to say ahead of time, thank you for the gentlemen that are up here. Now, did you do the house rule? Because it can get...
Okay, so the house rule is...
it can get hectic.
Your contribution is in this bowl for everyone out here. So I'm going to read these questions. You guys will have some wonderful penmanship. Thank you. And then the gentleman, the panel here is going to answer the questions, and then we're going to listen and just make faces. Because that's what's going to happen. Some eyebrows are going to go up, some chest going to puff up. It's okay. But this is the opportunity to listen, hear, receive, and contemplate. I know, it's hard for me to say, so I know, yeah. All right, so is that it? All right, let's get it started. What I love is, you guys good? Game time, all right, the gentlemen are ready. We started, right? I can pull this from way on the bottom too, so I'm just gonna tell you. So why do men stay in long-term relationships, 5+ years, she got very specific, with no intention of getting married? We have a unanimous groan. So who would like, whoever would like to jump in and take that, unless you want me to call them.
Let me go ahead and say this.
Okay.
I'm married, so I can't answer the question.
All right, that's called escaping the question, dodging. Okay. Victor.
I'm going to put my perspective on that question.
Awesome.
Let me turn this up.
That's what I was thinking. They can still hear you. I was thinking.
My actor voice. How you doing? All right, so that question is very interesting. So I think that from my perspective, I think there's a level of both people in their relationship I think they're comfortable. That's my perspective. And I think once they get to a level of that relationship for 5+ years, then I think that they pretty much know each other in and out. So, you know, what's the rush? And it's just a piece of paper after that point. What do you think?
Does anyone, I know, eyebrows and exhales. But again, we're listening, we're contemplating.
Listen, now there's another twist to it. But I think after 2 years in a relationship, you should know if that's the right person for you. You know what I mean? So, therefore, you know, why keep prolonging it? Just go ahead, and if you're perfect for each other, I mean, no relationship is perfect, you know? Just go ahead and have that conversation and, you know, make the necessary adjustments moving forward if they want to spend their life together, I think. What do you think?
Does anyone else have something they want to add to that and help Victor out? I'm sorry, did I say it?
I'm good.
Okay. Thank you.
Y'all not gonna jump on Victor.
There you go.
Y'all gonna leave Victor alone.
There you go.
Good.
All right, I'll say that my name is Ruben De Silva, by the way. I'm 33 years old. And before I say anything, I do got to give a disclosure. I didn't run for office. I'm in politics, so I know many things that I may say here can come back and bite me in the butt. But I've had a double shot and 2 beers. And I do want to, because I did read the book. The book is excellent, by the way. It spoke for me. I'm like, yo, women can really understand me. I don't know about the other guys on the panel, but just by simply reading this book, it was one of the best books I've read. I've read Aziz Ansari's Modern Romance. I've read Steve Harvey's I Think Like a Man, Act Like a Lady. But this book is concise, succinct, and it really speaks volumes. It speaks for me, I'll say that. And as a millennial, also I should say, I'm going to get a little personal. I think men, and I've done this many times, I've led women in relationships for, you know, 4, 5, 7 years, and not been fruitful in any sort of way. I know that they were pursuing marriage in the end, but I really wasn't at a point where I was ready. And very recently I had a coming to Jesus moment in my life, saying, hey look, I'm 33 years old, I've done everything I wanted to do, I've got a house, I've got a career, I've got a I've done everything I wanted. Getting ready to start my own business here. Now I'm ready. So it points back and harkens back to a concept that Ellen brought in this book, which is maturity. In your 20s, and this is when I did most of this whole leading on the women thing. Let's see where it goes. We just chilling. We're doing our thing. I wasn't ready.
Code words.
Yeah. I was, and then you know, you guys asked me, he's like 33 years old, but how does he have these 7, 5? There was some overlap. I'll be real. We probably touched upon that too, baby. There was some overlap. There was some overlap. I'm being honest.
Can I just say, as a politician, you're doing an amazing job.
I'm being honest.
All right, continue.
So it comes out of maturity. I think that men are ready and willing to make that jump into marriage when the moment is right for them. To me, it was about, and again, I grew up in the hood. I saw my parents struggle. They weren't able to make the ends meet. It did have a toll on the family. My thing was I wanted to make sure that I have an education completed. I got 2 master's degrees, both from the Ivy League. I wanted to make sure that I had a career that I was set in. I'm a school teacher, an educator here. I'm invested. You can't fire me. I just do something dumb, really dumb, like steal money or have sex with a student. I'm not.
Let's get Ruben another drink. No.
It's very different. I'm set up in my career. The other thing is I wanted to buy a house and I wanted to get into entrepreneurship. I wanted to make sure that foundation was set so the moment I do have a wife, I'm not going to be struggling like the way my parents did, the way my family. And I think it boils down to maturity. You know, Steve Harvey talks about this in his book, as Ethan Zari does, and Ellen does as well. You know, men got to be at that moment when they're ready to commit to marriage, when they're ready to make a decision to step into a long-term relationship. And if your man is not ready, and he's not mature enough to do that, he doesn't feel as if he's not ready, then it's just not going to happen. And it's up to, I think, up to men to be honest about that. Yes. And it's also up to women to try to infer that. Because oftentimes, you know, we're also difficult to figure out. We're not going to go out there and speak about our vulnerabilities. It's important to have that communication and back and forth so you can understand where your man is at. And if you feel that if he's not ready, then you 100%, it's your decision to walk away from that relationship and find another person who may be ready at that moment. So that would be my take to the whole leading on sort of conversation. If you go out there.
Man, let me tell you something. First of all, give it up for that answer. You know, and Victor as well, but I'm so glad that he just said that. Because when we're talking about maturity, and I'm so glad that ladies, I want you to know that if or whomever is in that situation, he just gave you a great timeline. And one of the mature things and the great things that he said he wanted to set himself up first. And then he goes and now finds his woman. The problem is that, see, while he set himself up, see, the person that you pick, whoever 5 years, let me tell you something. The first reason why that happens is because you let it happen. You let somebody set you up for 5 years. And that's your fault. Okay? He wasn't ready. It does not take 5 years. And I'm going to tell you the reason why it doesn't. Because the second reason why is that when you know your self-worth, if you know your self-worth, there's 2 things that you will never get anymore while you're alive. Time and with like earth or whatever. All the earth that's here is here. All the time it's here. You're never getting any more. So if you don't value your time, and see, but if you know your worth, you will value your time, and you will date with intention. Okay? And if you're dating with intention, then you know that there's a clock ticking for that person. And if he's not ready, bye, he's somebody else's blessing. And you are too. So if you, number one, you need to set the precedence that this cannot happen. Okay, but the problem is that you hooked up with the person, you started having sex with them, right? And now you're exchanging spirits, because that's really what happens when you're having sex. You're exchanging spirits, and now you figure out why you can't get away from that person. Oh no, it's not just because, you know, that they look like this, look like that, because now you're having orgasms. Okay? Oh, see, some of y'all don't even know what's the reason for an orgasm. Okay? So let me break this down to you because you probably, and it's okay because I had to learn this on the Discovery Channel. Okay? Right? That's where I learned this from. Right? See, everybody knows why a man, we all grown in here, right? Yes. Everybody knows why a man ejaculates, right? To get the sperm out, right? Okay. What happens is that you have an ovary, 2 ovaries, right? Every month an egg comes from each side, right? You don't know which side the egg came from. But the reason why that your body was designed a portion of that is to make sure that you can get pregnant. Okay? So when you have an orgasm, what's happening is that your uterus is squeezing the sperm in the direction of the ovary that got where the egg came from.
Amen.
Okay? So what your body,
Sorry.
okay? So watch this. That's what's really happening. So what does that tell your mind? This guy gives me a higher probability of becoming pregnant. This is psychologically happening to you, whether you like it or not. Whether you want to be pregnant or not, your uterus is designed to be pregnant. So it's trying to get you there, right? So because he just got you there, now you're more attached to that person. So 5 years of orgasms is the reason why you still sit there.
And at this time, you like to grab another glass of wine? I need some of the ladies here to unfold your arms.
Which is the reason why we need to pay attention to who we're sleeping and laying up with. So if you know your self-worth, if you know that you won't even allow somebody to take you this far, but without committing, then you don't sit at 5 years. And it's okay if you're that person, but it's also, you can hit the reset button today. I know I'm gonna break somebody up. That's okay. Because it shouldn't happen. So you're worth more than that. Don't let somebody just keep wasting your time. You don't even know. Come on, next question.
No, I love that. I'm gonna go home tonight and have a real conversation with my ovaries. Look, I know what y'all been doing. Okay, that was awesome. Thank you. You're gonna learn something today, y'all. All right, jumped into this question. I love it because it's a small paragraph. Bear with me. How many of you are happily married or in a long-term, successful, and fulfilling relationship with the same person for 5 years? And if so,